Hi, this is Marcel of Marcel on Tech, and today I'm going to be talking about why you should seriously not consider buying a foldable phone, in particular maybe the Samsung Galaxy Fold 4. Now, I've been testing this out for quite some time, and I want to tell you exactly what I've found to be the problems with the foldable phones. Let's get into it. Okay, so we are talking about foldable phones and specifically the Samsung Galaxy Fold 4, which I've been testing out now for about 3.5 weeks. And I have done a video about why I love it and why you should seriously consider buying a foldable phone. But I wanted to talk about the downsides as well. And this video is going to be pretty brief because there aren't that many downsides, but they do exist, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about are the glitches on the screens. Now, they're few and far between. We're not talking about iteration 1, 2, or even 3. This is the 4th generation of this device, and so it is really not as bad as those versions were. But this one still has blind spots. There are still parts when I touch the screen or when I want to rotate that it doesn't actually activate and rotate round. It's a little bit annoying. And it becomes really, really annoying when obviously you're trying to watch something or you want it to be orientated in a certain way. And because these are still relatively new, although Android 12L, which means large, a large screen, should be addressing these issues, it's still in its very early stages. So that still exists. Okay, now that leads on to optimization of certain apps. Now some apps, mostly Android apps, work really, really well. So you've got the likes of, you've got your suite here of Google apps such as Gmail, you've got the maps, it all looks amazing. You've got YouTube Music, all work brilliantly, photos, adaptable. But where you have problems are things like these apps. Now Facebook does work very well. It actually orientates totally differently when it's open in this orientation, which means that it has been optimized. Instagram, like all Instagram apps, they very rarely update it, so you've just got this very narrow panel, or it's spread out very, very wide here, and so it's over the top, too wide, and or you miss out on certain things top and bottom. So it's a little bit annoying. It's not well orientated. At least it's filling the full screen. Now, there is a setting on the phone where you force it to do that. If I didn't force it to do that, it would just fit into the narrow window in the middle there like it would be on a regular slab phone. So Instagram is probably the worst culprit of them all, to be honest. TikTok works relatively well as well, but there is a lack of optimization, which is a little bit annoying, and it does play a factor in your how you interact with the device as well. Now, the in-the-pocket feel is the other thing that's a huge problem. Now, this, I love the design, right? I really, really like the way that the metal has been cut, the way it looks, but my biggest issue is, of course, that it still has that gap, and I can see you through there. That is a big V-taper gap on the Samsung Galaxy Fold 4 that a lot of the competitors now don't have a problem with. So that design is a bit of an issue. It's a massive issue, mostly because of dust, and I'll come back to that one. But in the pocket, if I stand up and show you, this is a big wedge of foam that sits in my pocket, and invariably, if I'm wearing loose-fitting trousers, it will fit like that, and because it's very, very slippery, it will fall out as well. So I did have it in a case, but anything without a case, huge risk factor because it's very heavy. It's very tall as well. Now you get this with a lot of other phones, but because it's also very thick and weighty, you definitely know that it's in there. And if you're wearing any tighter trousers, it's going to stay in your pocket, but it's going to look really, really obvious as well. Now, keyboard mistakes. On this cover screen, because it's a lot narrower, I make more mistakes on this cover screen than I ever make on any other phone because it's so narrow. Now I've got quite big hands, but even with the one-handed use, which is feasible with the swipe gestures, it's still a little bit annoying, and I feel that it's too narrow. And I think a lot of the competitors that are coming out, Samsung's going to have to play catch-up because now the likes of Honor, Xiaomi, Vivo, they've all got phones that look like regular-sized phones, but then fold in half. So they are way ahead of the game in terms of design and in terms of practicalities for the cover screen, and then, of course, opening it up, which this device is still incredible for. And as always, I've got my fluid background here, which just looks absolutely brilliant on this device. It really is fantastic. I love it. But the keyboard gestures is quite annoying when using the cover screen. When using this screen, obviously, you've got two thumbs that you can use like a regular keyboard, or you can even put it down and type like that. So, you know, it's okay, but it's not brilliant, particularly when it's closed, because this device in particular is just too narrow. Now, the enemy of this device, and most folding devices still, the biggest problem is going to be dust and or sand. Now, I live by the coast here in southern Spain, and when I go down to the beach, I get very, very nervous, because even if I haven't put it on the sand, I haven't put it in the sand, I daren't even put it anywhere near the sand. When you have dust moving around, it will get into the cracks and crevices. Now, this is supposed to be obviously very well protected as it has an IP rating, but when you open the device, you will find that there's usually dust sitting inside the crease here, either from your pocket. But if you're in an area where there's a lot of dust, like the countryside or the beach in particular, that's going to be a massive point of vulnerability. And how you'll know is because when you open it, it'll start making crunching sounds. Now, I haven't taken this to the beach apart from once, and it doesn't make any noises. But if I were to expose it more frequently to the beach, because it would be my daily phone, then it could well be a massive problem, because dust is still an issue with these devices, but they're getting better and better all the time. So those are my takeaways really on whether or not you should consider getting a foldable device. Every other thing, watch the video on about the 4 reasons why you should consider getting a foldable phone. But as of today, this device is actually going home. So I'm going to resend this device back to where I bought it from, because I'm not going to be keeping it, because this, I feel, is not ready to be used as my main device just yet. So I'm actually going to reset the device live with you now, and we're going to wave bye-bye to the Galaxy Fold 4. I'm going to need to put in my passwords in order to unlock it and delay everything. There we go, it's doing it. So this device will be going back, and I'm going to wait for either the Galaxy Fold 5, which I think will have a better design profile, or if I can get hold of one of the Chinese import ones, then we'll review one of those very, very soon. But I don't think we'll be looking at another foldable device in this year. So hopefully 2023 is going to bring some amazing devices. Otherwise, I hope you really, really enjoyed this video. Put your comments below if you have a foldable device. Put a comment about what you like, what you dislike, what you're worried about. And if you're on the fence about whether you want to buy one, let me know what your thoughts are as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you very, very soon in my next one. Next one coming out very, very soon is the Pixel 7 Pro. Join me then for that one. Peace out.